One, two, three. One, two, three.
Yeah, yesterday was good.
actually become a member of the building this year. First, he's never been a member. So come here. You get free tickets and membership. So pretty much like yourself. I went to the Bunbury game.
When you want me? Going down, man, if you like.
Open question. I welcome everyone to Ray Park in Manjimup for the clash between Tigers and Imperials. Both clubs coming off a disappointing year, so the last game of the season for both these clubs, and the winner today will move themselves off the bottom of the ladder and not be awarded the wooden spoon if that is a trophy. I don't think it is. Disappointing for Imperials. Played in the prelim final last year, won a thriller here in the first semi-final in really tough conditions. So their slide has been incredible from last year's performance, but they'll be looking to improve today. And Tigers with a very young side, trying to lead some of the Colts that have come through the last 3 years as a hat-trick of premierships, looking to go one further and win their third game of the season. Last time these two clubs met, Tigers got over the line by about 10 goals from memory. So at home, they'll be looking to repeat that, go 2-1 up against the Imperials, win their third game of the year and get up off the bottom of the ladder. We'd like to thank our broadcast partners in Triple M Rocks Footy and Taliesin Lithium. Special mention to the central umpires today, Dave Rawson, Tristan Mead and Ryan Tinsdale. Congratulations to Dylan Edwards of the Tigers, Manjimup Tigers Footy Club, who plays his 50th league game of footy today. In the previous games in the Colts, the Tigers got themselves into the second semi-final with a commanding win against Imperials, 24 goals 17 to 3 goals 4, and on percentage they go through to the second semi-final and have next week off and relegate D-Mill to the first semi-final next weekend. In the reserves, Imps got over the line, 12 goals 4 to 6 goals 8. Nothing on that game. Tigers did kick 3 out of the last 4 goals, with the veteran of the Lower South West Footy League, Wayne Barnum, kicking the last goal of the game. And the Imperials will go into next week's first semi-final against Kojonup, who dropped down to third yesterday after going down to 1 point to Bridgetown. Also like to mention this guy as I come through the gate, John Starkey at the gate. Nothing special about John. He's a great bloke, but he can speak 1,000 words a minute and run 100 metres in 10 seconds, and he can do that all at once. So special mention to John Starkey, and the best fullback I've ever seen in Phil Hampson, who does a terrific amount of work at the Tigers Footy Club. I watched him play when I was a young fella. So game underway here. Big Thomas Quaife up against Angus Brisbane. Brisbane wins the ball down for Imperials, straight to Tim Myers, drives the ball forward. In front is East. And East takes the mark. Handballs on straight away to Hancock. Shot on goal, running shot on goal from the big fella. And in the space of 15 seconds, Imperials get the first goal of the game, courtesy of Alex Hancock. Straight out of the middle there from Brisbane. And Hancock, courtesy of a chest mark from Sam East, plays on straight away. Obviously not confident in front of goal. Hancock from 30 metres out made no mistake. I'd like to welcome into the commentary box the Vice President of the Tigers Football Club in Ben Lagana, who is also the umpire coordinator. So welcome, Ben.
Thanks, Mark.
So how are you finding your role, mate? I don't know much about you. How long have you been involved with the Tigers Football Club?
I've been down here 5 years and been involved in the juniors mainly. But yeah, just stepped up onto committee 3 years ago. So
how are you finding that transition from a junior committee person to a senior committee person? Tigers are in a little bit of transition, but they have been very successful up to Colts age level. How are you finding that?
I've been involved in footy my whole life, so probably it hasn't been too bad. I've sort of been involved coaching senior teams in the past as well. So yeah, been around footy clubs my whole life.
Yeah. So nothing changes only the demographics sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Imperials have won the free kick right in front of the commentary box here. Goes to Tim Myers, has been prominent early. Hits a kick down towards Johnson. Drops what he should have taken. Umpire just got a bit ahead of time, so did Johnson. The ball goes out of bounds and be thrown in right in front of the Tigers faithful. So very proud club, Tigers. Their Colts have been sensational over the last 3 years, going undefeated and winning 3 premierships in that time, which is a straightforward comment really, but this year they've really, in the second half of the season, they've given themselves every chance to win 4 in a row, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They're an exciting young group. So more than half of that side in their first year of Colts footy, and yeah, just their willingness around the contest has been a real credit to them.
It's the first time I watched them today. I haven't seen a lot of Colts footy this year, but I was really impressed. So they're not a real tall side, but geez, they're unselfish and they're very quick on the ground. And I think against the taller side, especially Pemberton, they might be a real danger if they can get that ball to ground.
Yeah, I think well, they showed that a fortnight ago here when they beat them just in those slippery conditions. Around the contest, they were able to get the ball to ground and then really spread from there.
So Imperials are on here as Brisbane wins a free kick with a great tackle on Wilson, gets it short, and this time Johnson does take the mark. Eyes the ball long, looking for East, goes through his hands, over to Hancock. Ghizzarelli just chucks it onto his left boot. And out the back is Barnsby. Spoilt there by Hancock. He's proven prominent early across half forward, the big fella. Josh Soroka, one of those Colts players from those 3 premierships, gets a kick down towards the skipper in Edwards. Reece Edwards, he's tackled there by Wademan. Took too long, and in the middle of the ground, Charlie Wademan will take the relieving free kick for Imperials. So as we step up into senior footy, Ben, you got any thoughts? I mean, Tigers, I think they've improved this year, looking from the outside in, with no affiliation to any club. You know, won a couple of games, but they have been in games a lot longer. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel?
Oh, I think certainly. They've got some good games into these young guys, and if we're able to recruit well moving forward, I think generally you look at about 5-year window from a Colts through to league success. If you can get that 50 to 70 games in a core group of players, it can make a big difference.
No, 100% agree with you there, Ben, and I think it's important. And then if they do go away, it's always that little bit of incentive to come back because they know they can see something there. And when you bring your own players back to a club, it's a good recruitment strategy because they know what the club culture's like. They've got those 50 or 60 games under their belt and they're ready to go 24, 25 years of age. As Ibsen takes a mark, second grab, runs into an open goal, gets around Jed Edwards with ease. And Imperials were the first 2 goals of the opening quarter, courtesy of Hancock with the first one, and Tyler Ripson, the co-skipper, puts through another. So 2 goals to nil, early stage of this game. Tigers yet to go inside 50. So they need to get one back here, 5 minutes into this first quarter, with Hancock and Ibsen getting the opening 2 goals of the match. So yeah, recruitment's a big thing now, isn't it, in the last hour? So I mean, it's probably big across the whole board, but when you're down here, you only see it here. I see a little bit in Bunbury, but it's a little bit different. But it's a demographic of trying to get the right people in, and it's a long way to come. And there's a lot more to it than just say, yeah, he can play and he comes in, because they've got to fit into your club as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And like you said, I think probably the distance factor. I was involved with Upper Great Southern for a lot of years, and being 2 hours from Perth compared to being 3, it's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. And not to talk about myself, because I'm not like that. I did come down when I was up in Perth trying to play some footy up there. Coming down was fine. It's the going home bit, because you play, you want to hang around with your mates and appreciate the new friendships you're trying to forge, but then you got to go home. So, no, I fully understand. And you just got to recruit those right players that just fit into your club and appreciate that extra travel, because it is a lot, isn't it?
Well, and like, I think across our league we've seen some quality travellers that have done it for a long period of time. You look at someone like Seaton Thompson at Southerners. Well, that's 5 or 6 years now that he's been doing it, and that's a huge commitment, because as you get older, that car ride gets harder too.
Yeah, and I think you've probably overlooked Robert Dawson as well. He has been an absolute trooper for the Tigers Footy Club. Terrific bloke. I have met him a couple of times, but what he's done over probably 8 to 10 year period, it might be longer, you just can't undervalue what he's done for the Tigers Footy Club and his commitment to the footy club.
Yeah, I think it's certainly been great, and I mean, his dad helps him out in that. I think he does a lot of the driving, sort of heading back to Perth at least. Which has made it a really strong contribution to our club.
And he still plays a good game of footy as they go on the outer wing here, Tigers, and looking for that man Dawson. But in front is Raymond Myers, and he takes the intercepting mark. Centre wing, far side of the ground. 7 minutes into this first quarter, 2 goals neat. Imperials and Tigers yet to score. Ball goes up, and strong marks taken there by Max East. Plays on straight away, gets more dirt than ball. Goes out, it's inside 50. Ibsen gets his player out of the way, handballs back over to East. He's going to run into another open goal. And this time it's Sam East on the run, handball from Ibsen. So a wonky looking kick from brother Max ends up in the arms of Tyler Ibsen, handball over to Sam East. And from 20 metres out, he snaps truly. And this margin's already out to 18 points early stages this first quarter, with Tigers have only been inside 50 once, just inside 50. So they need a goal here now, the home side. So as a umpires coordinator, Ben, how are you finding that? Your umpires are obviously short, and if it wasn't for past players going into that field, it'd be a pretty tough job, wouldn't it?
Yes, certainly sourcing umpires, you've got to be pretty creative. So we've got a lot of travelling umpires. So Ryan Tyndale, who's umpiring today, comes from Albany. And then we've got a group that come from Perth. And then we have got this core group of locals that certainly, I think, stands us apart from some of the other country leagues. Like for instance, Upper Great Southern at the moment don't have any local umpires doing their league games, whereas we've got 3 or 4 consistently doing that each weekend.
So we might be in front of the other leagues. I have a little bit to do with the South West League, and they really struggle where some of the umpires are doing Colts and reserves, or Colts and then they have a rest and do league. So yeah, it's tough. So it's good to have those core local past players doing that job. And I mean, no disrespect, but they're probably young enough to keep going for quite a few years yet too, looking at them. So I mean, it's impressive to have that where you're not searching for every game every weekend to get all umpires, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And look, I think this year, having guys like Gav Norrish, who's done all of the Resi's games across at Kojonup, that's been, really great as well.
So there's another mark there by Sam East. Handball over to Connor Ipson, has a shot from 50, and it just goes through for a minor score. I think everyone just does their job to make a league continue to operate, don't they? Whether it's yourself as vice president of a footy club and an umpires coordinator to the people on the ground at every club. Footy's such a big part of every community, especially this one down here. It's talked about when it's on, and it's talked about just as much on the off season. So to keep things going, every club does their bit to make that happen, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And I think that's probably one of the things around this community. It's pretty unique to have 3 teams out of a town this size, and 3 Colts, Resis and League teams as well. Like, to have that sustainability is a real credit to it.
And to just keep making it work year in, year out. 9 teams a week is, for a small town, I think it's an incredible effort. And what I see, I was involved with the D-Mill Footy Club, is that no club wants to merge. It's talked about, but it's a no-no. So they want to maintain their club, but they want to maintain 3 teams, because no one wants to be that club that is really struggling, that something has to happen, don't they? So everyone on the ground, right through to yourself in your couple of positions at a club and at administrative level, without all those people connecting up, then it wouldn't happen at all, would it?
No, well, and I think that looking at the 3 Manji teams at the moment, they're still going reasonably strong. So yes, maybe not on the field this season, but off field, there's some really good things happening.
So probably other than Imperials in the Colts, like they struggled a little bit this year, but you look at Tigers and D-Mill and the Colts, like they have really good numbers and they're quite strong, playing in finals. Ball goes this time down inside 50, free kick's given, comes out there, Smith tries to go wide, but the ball goes out of bounds on the full. And the relieving free kick will be taken by Connor Edwards. It's Ryan Edwards. Free going back in the middle of the ground. It's going to go the way of Jethro Namnick. So it's good to see this player back. Had a couple of real bad knee injuries, missed a couple of years of footy through that. Terrific player as a junior. He's going to have a shot on goal here for Tigers. 40 metres out, slight angle. Going for their first. 3 goals, 1-19 Imperials. In he comes now, Namnick. Deliberate shot on goal. He's got a fair piece of it. It's going to land a little bit short. Big Adam Edwards in the goal square, but the ball's rushed over the line. And the opening score for Tigers is a minor score. So they're on the board, just the one behind. 3 goals, 1-19. So 18 points to lead halfway through this first quarter. How is the directorship, like as part of the umpiring coordinator, you're sitting on the directors, how are they feeling about the league in general? If you're allowed to say anything about that, do they feel confident that it's it's sustainable as it is right now?
I don't sit on the directorship, but I did go to the president's meeting during the week, and I think that there's, certainly the reserves competition is something that they're looking at, and the sustainability of that, looking at what could happen to support numbers, and things that have been floated are reducing the Colt season potentially back to 12 rounds, so you're not having those standalone games. And also that possibility of some of those underage players wearing different coloured shorts like happens in other leagues.
Do they ever talk about age changes? Only my opinion only, as Imperials go forward once again. Brownie Armstrong this time hits East. Now his brother's hit the ground. It's a poor kick. Brings Tigers into play through Edwards. Ball tries to come out. It's been deemed a throw. And Tyler Ipson will have another shot on goal here from about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. We're right behind this one. We'll get back to that in a minute, Ben, as we let Tyler Ipson being prominent early. Goal to his name. Gave off the last one to Sam East. Terrific player, Ipson. In he comes now. Deliberate shot on goal. And it's gone wide and just through for a minor score. So do they ever foresee maybe changing age groups? Maybe the cohort situation might have affected some players playing footy. My opinion only, as I said. The reserves is a tricky one. Do you take it out? Some people want to play footy. I mean, it's all hypothesis stuff. But, like my opinion is I think they should bring the Colts age up to make these players play a little bit more in Colts age, because some at year 12 are finished. They might need another year or two to stay in footy and just develop a sort of a man's body, if so to speak, to go into senior footy in the reserves and league?
Yeah, I think, at the moment, I think all those options are on the table. One of the things that they discussed at the meeting was like the average age of a Resi's footballer this year has been 33. So we're not seeing that transition from Colts into Resis. We seem to be losing them at that age. So it's got to be a strategy that we can to encourage those to hang on for a bit longer.
Ball comes out to Gizzarelli. He gets a handball over to Armstrong from the pocket. Under pressure. Ball still in play here. Now it's gone over the boundary line. 25 metres out from Imperials' goal. Just over halfway through this opening quarter. 3 goals, 2-20. They lead Tigers to solitary point. Courtesy of a kick from Namek. Comes over to Gizzarelli. He snaps on goal. Hard to tell from the goal umpire, but it's gone through for a minor score. So another let off there. Smallest man in that pack ended up with the ball on his left boot, his natural side. Puts it across the face. Yeah, I just think you see a lot of kids at the footy that aren't playing footy. And when I played footy, footy was footy. You played footy, you never got married during footy season. You were fully committed, but we did have the numbers back then. So the whole world's changed basically, but I just think the longer we can keep them in footy, the longevity of the league keeps going, because you don't want to see 18, 19-year-olds not playing the game for whatever reason. You want them to be interested in the game, to want to play the game, don't you?
Well, I think just being involved in community is so important for everyone. So there's a lot of talk around mental health, and one of the best things for that is that you're involved and you feel like you belong to something. And I think footy clubs are a great part of that.
They're a huge part, aren't they? Whether you're playing or not, it's just, being around people that you feel comfortable talking about lots of things. It's not just the game itself. There's a lot of things that connect the dots with the footy game. Ball down now inside Tigers, forward 50, but it's one out there by Beebe. Looking there for the youngster, Intamasi. He gets his player out of the way, and Soroka could have had a bounce. Looking there for East. Ball lands short. Comes back to East. Will he keep it in play? He does. Gets around his player with ease. Goes short. Could have been held onto was Myers. But he takes the mark anyway. And he'll have a shot on goal from the boundary line. 45 metres out. I think one of the goals of the year a couple of weeks ago against Kojonup. Tim Myers. This will be a terrific kick. In he comes now. He's hit that a little bit thin. He's hit it very thin. It goes out of bounds on the full. And be brought back into play by Ryan Edwards. And I think maybe that's the way to go, Ben, is to make these younger people understand what footy can mean to you other than the game itself, to keep them involved. I mean, we all like a beer and have a bit of fun, but you combine that with the game, there's a lot more to it than that. It's a good point. Ball comes out centre wing, right in front of the Tigers faithful. Wilson takes the mark for Tigers. Gets it into the skipper, Reece Edwards. Beautiful looking kick going down there, looking for the big fella in Adam Edwards. Over the back is Brown. He's got Beebe there for company. Beebe wraps him up. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up about 45 metres out. Tigers just inside 50. They need a goal here before quarter time. As Big Edwards wins the ball down. Reece Edwards in best position. Just snaps onto his boot. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Goal. The skipper gets it done. Reece Edwards under pressure. Drops it onto his boot. And it bounces from the top of the goal square. And the home side get there first. Courtesy of the skipper in Reece Edwards. Terrific goal. Well done there by Adam Edwards. First cousin. There's a lot of Edwardses playing today. About 9 of them. Adam Edwards, terrific young ruckman a few years ago, done his knee, but it's good to see him back. He's a big unit. Got that ball down in a real dangerous position, and Reece Edwards first onto it, just dropped it onto his boot and put through a terrific goal. Ball back in the middle once again. This time Quaife wins it down to Braden Wilson. Tyler Ibsen snatches it out of his hands. Liam Edwards is first there. Tries to sock it off the ground, couldn't make contact. In comes Brandy Armstrong. Braden Wilson comes in. Now he's wrapped up in the middle as Liam Edwards comes in as well. And the ball will be thrown up on centre wing. So as umpire coordinator, Ben, we're staying on the umpires a fair bit. You obviously do a lot of umpiring yourself. You've got commitments throughout the whole finals, or do you see the same umpires that we've had through the year doing the finals? Is that how it works in that space?
Yeah, certainly we want to try and reward those that have committed to us throughout the year. So the combination today will definitely be involved in finals across the series. We've also got Matt Dodgson, Eric Farmer, that have done a lot of league footy this year that'll be in consideration as well. And then with Toby Edwards, Todd Carroll and Braden Ridley as well. They'll make up the majority of our umpire panel coming through the final series.
I suppose the only thing that sort of the spectators get a little bit concerned about, I don't think it's as much now, it was in the early days, because umpire shortage doesn't mean a recent thing. Ball down inside 50, real dangerous spot here. In comes Gizzarelli, could have been pushed in the back. Umpire sees it that way, he's paid it high. And Gizzarelli will have a shot on goal. Scott Gizzarelli, 20 metres out, directly in front to get the quick response for Imperials. Already had a shot on goal, Gizzarelli. Silky left footer. In he comes now, 20 metres out, makes no mistake. So Gizzarelli with the instant response, courtesy of a high tackle, 20 metres out from goal, gets a responding goal for Imperials. And they go to 4-3, 27, with Tigers 1-7. So 20-point lead as we move into time on in this first quarter is when you come from a club and then you're umpiring that club, or the people see that a little bit differently, but I don't think they see it as much now. They might reflect back on it, but I think the umpires are doing a great job. The games I've seen this year, and I'm not patronising them, I think they've done a great job. We mention them every time they run out, and basically that's the last time we mention them. I reckon that's a great thing.
Yeah, I think for our league to be healthy, we need people from our clubs to be replenishing those stocks. So without them, where our clubs are paying a hell of a lot more for umpires with travel. So the more that we can support our local guys, the better. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and you're right, without them, what do? We fork out a lot of money, which, especially in the Manji town, we're all droning off the same sponsors. They're the same people, 3 clubs go to them every year looking, for that assistance through the sponsorship. So
You know, you get some games where you don't get a lot of people at the game. You don't want to be forking out too much for umpires. Another shot on goal comes over here to Ibsen. Gets a handball back out to Gizzarelli. He's going to get 2 in a row, Gizzarelli. Oh, he misses what he should have got. 20 metres out, no pressure. Handball over the top from Tyler Ibsen. Gizzarelli found himself in space. That's Scott Gizzarelli. And he's kicked 1 goal too early. A couple of let-offs here for Tigers. I just think everyone plays an important part in the game, from administrative, ground level, whatever you do, cleaning out, whatever it is in a footy club. Without those people, nothing will work. And yeah, we talk about it a lot. We might get a bit upset sometimes as spectators if we follow a particular club, but everyone makes mistakes, but they're all doing their best, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. I think one of the things that you probably, until you start umpiring, you don't realise the positioning, how important it is. So quite often when you're standing in the corridor, what you see is the 180 view of what the bench and what the crowd sees, and what you don't want is them guessing, because that's when things get pretty ordinary.
100%. I'm chuckling a little bit because I've probably been in that position. I've umpired Colts footy, which is a little bit different. But yeah, you're 100% right. What you see, what the players see, and what the crowd see, that's 3 different views sometimes, isn't it? But the crowd have the numbers, so you're always only going to please 50% of them. But I reckon you're doing a great job. Tigers once again go forward, gets in the hands of Reece Edwards, and he finds Adam Edwards, and he'll have a shot on goal 40 metres out, directly in front. A quick play here on centre wing, deep into time on in this first quarter. Adam Edwards set up Reece Edwards. Now Reece Edwards has given it back to Adam. What can the big fella do from 45 metres out? Distance shouldn't be a problem. Distance is no problem. He's put it straight through the middle, the big fella. And they get their second. 2 goals, 1-13. Reece and Adam Edwards, the goal scorers for Tigers. 4 goals, 4-28. So 15 points to margin as we move closer to quarter time. So is there anything else, Ben, you wanted to pass on? We've talked about the footy club, we've talked about the league and the umpiring situation. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap it up, mate? I think you're doing a great job, and Tigers is a very proud footy club. I can see a light at the end of the tunnel for their senior side. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap it up, just before quarter time?
Oh, I think you touched on it before, just around that appreciation for sponsors. Today's our Sponsors Day, so we just a big shout out to all of our sponsors that support our club. We can't do it without them.
100%, mate, and every club's the same, so we have to acknowledge them. I think every club does, because without them it's going to be tough. The ball's brought back in there by Smith. Misses his target looking for Beebe. Reece Edwards is there. Now this bloke is a terrific kicker of the footy. His dad was one of the best I've seen until Bryn Francis come on the scene. Big Paul Plugger Edwards. So Reece will go back from 40 metres out directly in front, and this will draw the margin within 8 points as we close in on quarter time. Going for his second, the skipper. Distance won't be a problem. In he comes now, a couple of steps. Makes the umpire work. And that's a let-off for Imperials as he's pushed it across the face of goal for a minor score. Thanks very much, Ben. Terrific, mate. You do a great job. Obviously new to the town, but you got involved, and the best place to get involved is a footy club, I believe. And what you're doing for Tigers, and also what you're doing for the league as far as keeping those umpires rocking, is an amazing effort. You should be proud of it, and the whole league should be proud, because we're coming into finals. Every grade could go any way. Most of the top 4 teams on their day can win that flag, and they can also go out in straight sets. So terrific effort, mate, and I really look forward to finals, and all the best if you get some umpiring duties and getting those umpires moving. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
The ball's back inside 50. It goes to Connor Brown. Edwards puts the lead on, and in front of Scott Gizzarelli takes the mark. And he'll have a shot on goal. Another shot on goal for Edwards. Runs around onto his left. Snaps. He's put it through as the siren goes. Lucky there, the skipper. As he run around, it come off his boot. And that's when the siren went. And that reduces the margin now to 7 points. 3 goals, 3-21. Edwards with his second. That's Reese. 4 goals, 4-28 as we move into quarter time. Once again, thanks, Ben. Terrific, mate. I really appreciate your work. It's nice to meet you. I know we've crossed paths a couple of times, but just to get an insight to what you do with the local footy club and the league in general is amazing. Yeah, keep it going, mate. You're doing a terrific effort.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
Welcome everyone back to Ray Park in Manjimup. Well, a couple of late goals. One to Reese Edwards and one to Adam Edwards for Tigers. Reduce that margin to 7 points. So at quarter time, Imperials hold the lead. 4 goals, 4-28 for the home side. 3 goals, 3-21. Before we get underway in this second quarter, once again, we'd like to thank our broadcast partners, Triple M Rocks Footy, Taliesin Lithium. There is a $3,500 prize for Mark of the Year, sponsored by AgFree. Goal of the Year sponsor is Kimberley Accommodation Group. 3 nights accommodation at Kimberley Accommodation Broome. And the best player judged best on ground gets a pair of Archie thongs. So over 5,000 Archies shared across 23 leagues in WA in the last 3 years. So second quarter underway. Connor Ipson now in the ruck against Quaife. Wins the ball down. Comes over to J.L. Logan for Tigers. He's bumped off there by Armstrong. In comes Armstrong once again. The tough nut for Imperials. Gets a handball out to East. East gets it out to Myers. Player in the middle of the ground as Ipson misses him. Now it's in a good position for the home side Tigers. Dawson out the back. In they come. In comes Johnson. Wraps up Dawson in the middle of the ground with some help from Raymond Myers. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up just forward to centre. Tigers way. This time Quaife gets his ample frame in front. Gets a handball over to Dawson. Over to Johnson. Liam Edwards gets on the end of it. Looks up there for the big fella. In Edwards uses his big frame. Handball over. Comes to Namnick. He's well tackled. Umpire sees that's a great tackle. It's been rewarded. And the free kick goes the way of Lachlan Smith for Imperials. Just about as Namnick was about to kick on goal from 20 metres out. Goes on the far side of the ground. Over the top comes Logan. Spoils Armstrong. Could have pushed him in the back. Umpire doesn't see it that way. And right in front of the scoreboard here, early stage of second quarter, the umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. So early stages, 7-point lead to Imperials. Looking to get off the bottom of the ladder. There's only 0.5% separating these two clubs. Umpire's paid a free kick. And it'll go the way of Gizzarelli, is it? No, it's Brandy Armstrong, who's been terrific in that first quarter and has started the second quarter just the same. Goes into the middle of the ground, short kick and finds Myers. Had a good first quarter himself. Tim Myers for Imperials. He's going to go short once again. This is his target in East. And Reece Edwards cuts the ball off centre wing. Still far side of the ground. This time he comes in the middle looking for Wilson. Imperials have the numbers. And over the back is Myers. Puts his name forward for mark of the day. Goes across ground and finds his brother in Raymond Myers. Has players leading for him. Now he goes long, puts the ball high. Looking for Max East. Over the top comes Edwards. In comes Connor Brown. Comes out to Tim Myers. Tries to use his pace. Tackles as he kicked it from Jaya Logan. Over to Sam East. Gets a handball back over to Max. He handballs out to Beebe for Imperials. Puts him under pressure as Edwards comes in. This time Reece Edwards picks the ball up and goes to brother Liam. Right on centre wing. Has a player in short in Quaife and Wilson. They muck it up. Comes over the back to Connor Ibsen. Gets a dribbler down to East. Max just drives the ball long. Goes over the top of Hancock's head. And the free kick has been taken by another Edwards in Ryan. Looking there for Liam. Asks a fair bit of him as East comes over the top. And the ball goes out of bounds. Right in front of the commentary box. No score, early stage of this second quarter. Imperials still holding a 7-point lead. Big Tommy Quaife and Connor Ibsen. Umpire will have to reload, throw it in again. He's a big man, it's Thomas Quaife. Strong ties to the Tigers Footy Club. His dad played here and Imperials. Could have been Hill, gets the ball out to Jaya Logan. Tries to handball back to James Johnson. Now he puts him under pressure. In they come. He gets rid of Johnson for Imperials. Tries to do too much. Does a youngster. And he's been caught. And the free kick will be taken by Jordan Johnson. He could have played on there. He went the wrong way. Still too far out to score. Some big plays there, and Ibsen decides to go wide, looking for East. Well spoilt by Edwards. Gets the handball over now to Smith. He's going to have a shot on goal. It's come off the side of his boot and gone out of bounds on the full. And the relieving free kick for Tigers will be taken by their skipper. Kicked 2 goals in the first quarter, Reece Edwards. Working up and down the ground today. Terrific player. Brother Dylan playing his 50th game today. Decides to go wide, looking there for Dawson. Tries to get his player under the ball and Nipson. They have the numbers here. Namnick gets the handball out to Soroka. Goes wide, asking a fair bit there of Liam Edwards. He just soccers the ball off the ground. Has he got the leg speed? It's him and Raymond Myers. Edwards picks it up. Well tackled there by Myers. In comes the big fella and Edwards. It stays in play. Gets onto his left boot. In front is Brown. Brown takes the mark. Plays on straight away. Runs around. Puts it straight over the top of the goal umpire's hat. And Connor Brown gets the opening goal of the second quarter for Tigers. Terrific mark. Second, third attempt. Plays on straight away. And now the margin is reduced down to 1 point. 4 goals, 3-27, the home side. And Imperials are stuck on 4 goals, 4-28. It's 5 minutes into the second quarter. Connor Brown, he knows where the goals are. Kicked a swag of goals in the last couple of years in Colts footy. Terrific kick from Adam Edwards, just threw it onto his left boot. Brown playing in front, took a terrific mark at the third grab. Ball back in the middle of the ground again. It's won by Quaife, but it goes straight to Myers. Armstrong for Imperials in best position. He knocks the ball forward to East. He can get the ball over to Ibsen. In they come now. Running on is Armstrong. Will it sit for him? Right in front of a dangerous position. Gets the ball out to Gillies. It wouldn't sit for him. But in comes Reece Edwards once again. Handballs over to Connor Edwards. And they go on the far side of the ground. He was looking there for Barnsby. He keeps it in play as Barnsby drives the ball long. Now it's into open space. Wademan first there. In they come. It's Smith. Gets a handball over to Myers. Doesn't sit, sits for him. Comes back to Wademan. He's had to chuck it onto his boot. In best position is Wilson. Plays on straight away. Goes in the middle of the ground looking for Namnick. Bounces kindly for Namnick. Gets around his player with ease. He'll run into an open goal. And miss. A let off there for Namnick. Had a bit more space than he thought. Got around Gizzarelli easily. Sean Gizzarelli from 25 metres out. Missed what he should have got. And scores a level. And 6 minutes into this second quarter, it's 4 goals, 4 apiece. Reece Edwards, Adam Edwards, 2 apiece to Reece, 1 to Adam in the first quarter. And Connor Brown for Tigers, the only goal scorer from both teams early on in this second. Ball comes out, looking there for Armstrong. Tigers have the numbers. Soroka takes his eye off the ball. In comes Armstrong once again. Umpire's seen a free kick. And it's going to go away of Josh Soroka, centre ring. He's got Wilson out wide, all on his own. Tries to take a one-hander, but he's got time. Drives the ball in, looking for Namnick. And Namnick in front of Smith takes a terrific mark in front of his eyes. And he'll go back this time. 45 metres out, tight angle. To put Tigers in front for the first time today. Couple of knee recons for Jethro Namnick. Back in senior footy. In he comes now. Missed one previously that he should have got. Deliberate shot on goal. It's a good looking kick. It's just scraped in. And Namnick gets back-to-back goals for the home side, and they're in front. As he missed one from 20 metres out, directly in front. This one from right on the boundary. And it just had enough. 5 goals, 4-34 now, Tigers. Imperials still stuck on their quarter-time score, 4 goals, 4-28. Terrific kick by Namnick. Wilson went for the one-hander, but he had plenty of time to recover the ball. He steadied. Namnick took the lead, put the lead on, and with his long levers, took the mark in front of Myers. This time, Ibsen wins the ball down for Imperials, gets the ball back from Tim Myers, wields around onto his left. Now he gets it to Gizzarelli, and Gizzarelli finds Armstrong in front of Edwards. Playing on at all costs now, goes in the middle of the ground and finds Connor Ibsen 60 metres out from goal. He's been called to play on, gets around the man on the mark with ease, looking for his brother there in Tyler, bounces at his feet, probably didn't have the ball. Umpire sees it that way. As Jed Edwards let the tackle linger a little bit too long. And Tyler Ibsen will go back 40 metres out, nearly directly in front to get the response for Imperials. Dangerous target down there is Tyler Ibsen. Brother Connor asking for it. He's definitely got the leg from here. Tyler Ibsen, terrific player. In he comes now. It's a good-looking kick at goal. It's a terrific-looking kick at goal from Ibsen. And he gets the response for Imperials. And they get their first of the second quarter. Ibsen second, Tyler that is. And scores a level once again. 5 goals, 4 apiece. 10 minutes into this second quarter. A terrific effort there by Ibsen. Unlucky to young Edwards, that's Jed Edwards. Ibsen did have the ball when he first tackled him, but that tackle lingered. Umpire deemed without the footy from 40 metres out directly in front. He made no mistake. 5 goals, 4 apiece. Terrific game of footy so far. Back in the middle once again. Ibsen goes up. Wins it across from Quaife. Looking there for Myers. He couldn't get a handle on it. It comes back to him. He just puts the ball under his boot. It's Armstrong and Edwards. Close to the boundary line. Armstrong keeps it in. Gets around Edwards with ease. Gets a handball over to East. Tries to tap it back. Basketball style to Armstrong. Puts it in the middle of the ground looking for Johnson. Over the top comes young James Johnson for Tigers and makes the spoil. Ball comes out to Denzel Collins. In comes Corey Johnson once again. Jordan Johnson, that is. And the umpire will throw it up about 60 metres out from Imperials' goal. This time Quaife gets in front, gets it down to Braden Wilson. Handball over to Soroka. Wields around on the wing. It's an average looking kick, looking for Brown. In comes Smith. Terrific pick up off the ground. Now he goes into the middle of the ground and finds Wademan just outside defensive 50. He's got East on a strong lead. Ball goes in that direction and East takes the mark. Max East plays on straight away, looking for brother Sam. He's got the height advantage. Over the top came Dylan Edwards to make the spoil. Now they have the numbers. Out to Jordan Johnson. Handball out to Sam East. Drives it in forward. Misses his target in Brandy Armstrong. Over the top comes Zach Johnson. Now they're out on the far side of the ground through Jesse Edwards. It's a terrible kick. They have the numbers here, Imperials. Could have been deemed a throw. It was a throw. 4-1. But Barnsby wins the free kick for Tigers. Just outside defensive 50. He's been called to play on. Goes in the middle of the ground. Misses his target. Umpire's seen a free kick. And it'll go the way of Raymond Myers for Imperials. He's got a player wide centre wing and finds Jordan Johnson. Still 2.5 kicks from goal, Imperials. 1 point lead. He drives the ball long. In front is Big East. In Sam East, and he takes a terrific contested mark. Plays on straight away, looking for Ibsen. It's a terrible kick. In they come now. Tito Tomasi's there. He's outnumbered. Ibsen comes in for support. Gets around his player with ease. It goes over the top of Sam East's head. Now Myers has the leg speed. He'll get around Reece Edwards with ease. Goes to the top of the goal square. But in front is Edwards for Tigers. And he takes a terrific contested mark. Goes short and finds Reece Edwards. Umpire seen a 50. That was Jed Edwards who took that mark. And standing on the mark rule has cost the Imperials a 50-metre penalty. And Reece Edwards will come deep out of defence and go along centre wing, right in front of the commentary box. Goes in the middle of the ground looking for the big man in Quaife, and he doesn't let him down. Gets a handball over to Dylan Edwards, the 50 gamer. Goes in short looking for Adam Edwards. There's a common theme here, isn't it? It's all about the Edwardses. As in comes Blake Johnson, but he's wrapped up by Sean Gizzarelli. And inside Tigers forward 50, the umpire will come in and throw the ball up about 40 metres out from their goal. 5 goals, 4 apiece, halfway through this second quarter. Ball's one down to Braden Wilson. Gets a handball over to Adam Edwards. He's got a player out in Johnson, all on his own. But Jordan Johnson for Imperials wins the ball. Got Myers in best position. Over the top comes Liam Edwards. It's tough in the middle of the ground. Big tackle put on Jesse Edwards there by Big Angus Brisbane. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Shawnee Quaife gets to Rucknock in the direction of Gizzarelli. He thought he didn't have it. The umpire said you did, then you let it go. And Robert Dawson, he'll play on now, have a shot from 50. It's going to go right to the top of the goal square and goes through for a minor score. So end-to-end stuff here from both teams. Thinking that Tigers have a 1 point lead, 5 goals, 5-35. Imperials are 5 goals, 4-34. Ball comes out on the far side of the ground, right in front of the scoreboard here at Ray Park. And stacks on the mill, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball in. Throw the ball up about 70 metres out from Tigers' goal as they hold a slender 1 point lead. 2 goals to 1 in this second quarter, going the way of the home side. Ball's just chucked onto the boot, and Brandy Armstrong takes the chest mark. Goes in the middle of the ground and finds Corey Johnson. Far side of the ground, tries to go short, looking for his brother. But in front, Tigers have the numbers. They come in board and find Reece Edwards. That's a beautiful looking kick for his cousin Adam. And the big fella takes the mark, centre wing. He's going to go along, the big fella. And he's got players out the back. One of them is Namnick. Goes through his hands. Probably could have let it go to Johnson, but it bounces into Johnson's hands. He's well wrapped up there by Smith for Imperials. And the ball will be thrown up about 10 metres out from Tigers' goal. Not a lot of talk there between Namnick and young Blake Johnson. Could have got a shot on goal. Ball's one out. Comes to Wademan. He just sockets it off the ground towards Corey Johnson for Imperials. Could have been taken without it. In comes Wademan once again. Gets it out towards Myers. Great pick up by Myers. He's tackled there by Wilson, Braden Wilson. And Wilson will take the relieving free kick. Too far out to score, Wilson. Been good so far. Good link man through the middle of the ground, Braden Wilson. Terrific basketballer is Wilson. Pretty good footballer as well. Got a player short. That's Liam Edwards. And he takes the mark and will have a shot on goal from about 50 metres out. Liam Edwards. Terrific player. Left footer. This will take all of his best kick. In he comes now. Has a shot on goal. That's a great looking kick from Liam Edwards. As soon as it left his boot, he knew it was through. He was heading back to the centre of the ground. And Tigers get their third. And they go 7 points up as we move close to time on in this second quarter. Terrific kick. Tackle there from Braden Wilson. Liam Edwards put the lead on. Wilson obliged. And Edwards from 50 made no mistake. And as that ball was in the air, he was in the middle of the ground waiting for the umpires to get back. He knew it was a goal. 18-minute mark of the second quarter. 6 goals, 5, 41, the home side. 5 goals, 4, 34, 7-point lead. Ball back in the middle. Brisbane versus Quaife. No one wins the ball down. It comes out to Myers. Handballs over to Armstrong. Puts him under pressure. Comes back to Myers. Trying to keep the ball in front. Tigers come in through Barnsby. He misses it. Myers picks it up. Looking there for Tyler Ibsen. Well spoilt there by Edwards. He wins it back, does Edwards. That's Jed Edwards. And now he puts it out in the foot race. Jay Logan for Tigers has some space. The ball doesn't bounce for him. Now he's well tackled by Denzel Collins. And Collins wins a free kick. Terrific tackle. Unkind bounce there for Logan. Has a player wide. Decides to go inboard to Connor Ibsen. Doesn't hit his target. Now Tigers have the numbers. In comes Logan. Ibsen's on the bottom of the pack. Umpire said you had prior opportunity. And the free kick is won there by Reece Edwards, who's been terrific. He goes wide and finds Dylan Edwards. He'll probably find another one. No, he looks for Dawson. Dawson tries to come over the back of the pack over Wademan. Wademan stood his ground. Now the ball spills out to Myers once again. Out towards Jordan Johnson. Tripped over when he didn't need it. It comes to Liam Edwards. Gets onto that left boot and just puts it into open space. First there is Smith. But the ball goes over the boundary line. And it'll be thrown in just inside 50. Tigers way. 6 goals, 5, 41 the home side. 5 goals, 4, 34 Imperials. 3 goals to 1 this second quarter. The way of the Tigers. The ball's thrown in. The numbers there. The umpire lets it go on. It comes to Wilson. He snaps on goal. But it goes across the face of the goal. And out of bounds. Will be thrown in this time. The opposite side of the score, but he's thrown in about 20 metres out from Tigers' goal. They've had all the play in the last 5 or 7 minutes. And they're in a real dangerous position as we move into time on in this second quarter. One of the easier games I've had to call. There's a lot of Edwardses out there. Now I've just got to get their first names right. I shouldn't miss. The ball's in a dangerous spot. It comes over to Jesse Edwards. Tries to get the handball out. He does to Adam Edwards. Has a shot on goal. And it just goes through for a minor score. It's really looking dangerous when they go deep. Ball's brought back in quickly, and it finds Jordan Johnson for Imperials. Been good in this second quarter. It's a good looking kick. Cut off there by Logan. Comes back to Braden Wilson. Goes short, and Namnick takes a terrific diving mark. And the ball come back, just a little bit of an intercept on the far side of the ground there by Logan. Wilson looked for Namnick. He dived to his right, took a terrific mark. And he'll have a shot on goal from 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, going for his second of the quarter to extend this margin to 13 points. In he comes now, Namnick. Goal umpire doesn't move. And it goes through for another major for the home side. As Jeffro Namnick kicks his second, Tigers fourth of the quarter. 7 goals 5, 47. Find themselves 13 points up now over Imperials, who are 5 goals 4 goals to 1 in this second quarter, and Namnick's got a couple. And Braden Wilson's proven to be a handful through the middle of the ground. No one's going with him. A lot of finger pointing out there as to who's picking him up, but he's been terrific, setting up a lot of forward entries for Tigers, resulting in goals. The ball's back in the middle of the ground. No ruckman win it down. It comes to Tim Myers. Could have been slung, but it comes over to James Johnson. Gets onto his left boot, looking there for Dawson. Him and Smith go at it. Now in comes Liam Edwards to help out. He's pushed out of the way. Dawson comes in and wraps the ball up as Jordan Johnson picks himself up with Edwards. And the ball will be thrown up about 50 metres out from Tigers' goal. This time Brisbane wins it down for Imperials. It goes to Logan. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. 50 metres out from goal. Tigers' way. 13 points up. Ball's one down there by Quaife. It comes over to James Johnson. Gets onto his right boot. In comes Corey Johnson. Tries to get around a couple of players. Now he puts his teammate in trouble. How will the umpire see this one? Didn't have any opportunity. And the ball will be thrown up about 30 metres out from Tigers' goal. 7 goals 6, 5 goals 4, 14 points the margin. Comes out to Jordan Johnson. Been good in this second quarter. Just puts it onto his boot. Brajovic doesn't get the bounce he wanted. Now it favours Tigers. Over to Liam Edwards. Handballs out to no one in particular. Asking a fair bit there of Logan. In comes Logan. Johnson picks it up. Logan puts a terrific tackle on. Slipped down there. Umpire's seen a free kick. So it dropped down towards his bootlaces. And Jordan Johnson, would take the relieving free kick. Right in front of the scoreboard. Had a good second quarter as Johnson puts the ball up looking for Myers. Hung in there a bit too long. Now in comes Logan. The ball's kicked out. In front is Namnick. It goes over the top to Brown. Brown gets it off the ground. Has a snap on goal. It's Brown. Which way will it bounce? Stays in play. And they keep it in play. Oh, the umpire said it went over the line. And it's through for a minor score. Wademan now to bring the ball in. Goes short. And Jordan Johnson once again. Plenty of room to move. Plays on straight away. Goes long looking for Myers. Myers over the top of Edwards. And now it goes over the boundary line. Centre wing. Deep in time on in this second quarter. 7 goals, 7-49. The home side. Imperials 5 goals, 4-34. So 15 points the margin. With a 4-1 second quarter, the way of the home side. Ball's won out by Zach Johnson this time. They have the numbers once again. One of them is Liam Edwards. Gets a handball out to Johnson. Comes back inboard to Reece Edwards. He tries to go cute in the middle of the ground to Dawson, but it's cut off by Raymond Myers in the middle of the ground. Good looking kick. Finds East. Gets a handball over to Gizzarelli. Has one bounce. Closes in on goal. Shot on goal. And another let-off for the home side as Gizzarelli has now missed 2 or 3 in the opening half of this game. Closed in from 30 and pushed it across the face of goal for a minor score. Ball's brought back into play. and it finds Reese Edwards. 30 metres out from goal. And there's half time. It's a 4-1 second quarter, the way of the home side. 2 to Namnick and 1 each to Brown and Liam Edwards in that second quarter for Tigers. And the only goal for Imperials come the way of Tyler Ipson. They go into half time. 7 goals, 7-49. 14 points up on Imperials. 5 goals, 5-35. And we'll come back in a couple of minutes for the second half. Saturday live. It's not live. But people ringing in now. G'day. Good.
Rohit Marudi.
Yep. You ready? Yep. I think you just got to press that once. To watch it. Just to bring the game. Going to be joined shortly by Luke Porter of the Imperials Footy Club. Probably the only man that can't stand up in this Winnebago, the tall fella. But Imperials started strong in this first quarter, but a 4-1 second quarter by Tigers. The ball's put down into the forward line, real dangerous position. Gizzarelli's there, he's got Adam Edwards for company. Could have been a trip there as the ball goes out of bounds. And be thrown in. Right on the point post, 15 metres out from Tigers' goal as they hold a 14-point lead early stages of this third quarter. Ball's thrown in. This time Dawson does the ruck work, wins clean possession, has a snap on goal, and it goes through for a minor score. So welcome, Luke, Imperials member. What's your role at the Imperials Footy Club?
Treasurer this year, and been doing that for the last, I've done 3 years actually in a row.
So you're not a management local as such, you've been here a very long time, but your dad was heavily involved in the Imperials Footy Club. Now you're there, mate. How did you get to Imperials, or did they rein you in, or you just landed there?
Yeah, no, they started with the old man, Shane Porter, so he got roped in as trainer and whatnot, and then it just naturally progressed from there. And we've got 3 boys that have all had a crack at it. We've got one that played Colts today. Unfortunately, we didn't come away with a win, as you know.
So any team that would have seen you come into town, mate, at your height would have been licking their lips. Well, we got a ruckman here, we need to get him. And
they sure did, yes. But my playing days were over. I give up playing football, crikey, when I basically started work as a mechanic and went into a support role more than anything. Still obviously love the game, but being this height, injury prone comes along pretty quick if you don't look after yourself. So
I just don't know if as a player coming to a town that has 3 clubs, if you could play, or even if you couldn't play, they all want a piece of you. So every club is good value. As Tim Myers has the opening shot on goal for Imperials, and I think that's come back.
Might have snagged that one.
And that's gone through for a goal. Put his name up for goal of the day once again. Tim Myers kicked a terrific goal against Kojonup a couple of weeks ago. Had a really good first half as Myers. So the opening goal goes the way of Imperials. They close this gap now to 9 points. 6 goals, 541 to 7 goals, 850. So you didn't play, Luke, but obviously you've been on the committee and you have a family that plays footy at Imperials. So what's some good things about Imperials Footy Club, mate?
Well, like all of the footy clubs around here, it's all, family, close-knit. You sort of look out for each other, and the history, I suppose, like Imperials has been one of the inaugural club, along with, I think, was it Jardine and management amalgamated. We've got Tigers and Imperials that sort of, kicked everything off. So
the ball socket off the ground deep.
A lot of history and a lot of good people, and I
think the beauty about having 3 teams, I know it can come with its own sort of nuances, but the rivalry's there, but when clubs need to pull together for whatever that is, it's so strong and overpowering. Like it's just such a marvellous thing that three clubs can fight to the death when they're playing footy, but if something happens to anyone outside of that, they just band together. And that's the beauty about community footy, isn't it? And having that three teams in one town, it's so
very unique,
rewarding. Yes,
extremely unique, and we manage it pretty well. And you know, there's obviously a bit of love lost occasionally, but we get over it. Yeah, it's very good to see.
We get over it, but the 93 grand final that I played in, Luke, that's 32 years ago, and 2018 might take a little bit more time. But yeah, I think, and if you look over time, every club has their time in the sun. Like it's not this one team dominating because they want to go out there or whatever the reason is. Every club has had their time in the sun in the whole town, which keeps that three-team clubs going, doesn't it?
Yep, definitely.
The Imperials have started this second half with a bit of fight. Had the ball forward to centre for the opening 2 or 3 minutes of this third quarter, and that margin now is 8 points. So we talked to Ben Lagana as they try to win the ball out. Johnson's been good. Jordan Johnson comes to Gizzarelli, snaps on his right, but the mark has been taken deep in defence by Ryan Edwards. Obviously played in the prelim last year, and this year it's been a tough struggle. So how's the club sort of bearing with that? I mean, you've got a couple of terrific people doing the Colts in Wayne Barn and Clint Sabaz now, who are icons of the Imperials Footy Club.
Yep.
Like, you've got to keep those players there to just maintain something. I know it's been a tough year and no one wants to see that, but what's the way forward here for the Imperials Footy Club?
Well, obviously we'll be trying pretty hard to keep those boys on and keep some normality in the Colts team. The changeover, you know, we've obviously got 4 or 5 year 9s coming up, so, you know, fill the side back up again. Work with them and keep them engaged, and you know, as you said before, there's always ups and downs, you know, can't all be on top, so yeah, we'll regroup and give it a red hot go next year. Yeah,
I think that's all we can do sometimes, you know. I mean, it's disappointing and everyone wants to win, but it's just that off season is to just regroup, reset, and see what you can do next year, because there's always another year of footy.
Absolutely.
And trying to explain to the younger portion of your footy club that, you know, it might look like doom and gloom, but it's such an important part. And we spoke to Ben about this, not just to play footy, but for your own health and just to be involved in that team sort of atmosphere is hugely important, whether you're going bad, because when the good times come, you can reflect on what you're going through at the moment.
Yep.
The ball comes down and Jesse Edwards, courtesy of a beautiful pass from Reece Edwards, takes the mark. A bit too far out to score, Edwards. A couple of leads there. Wilson's been good with Tigers. Namnick's kicked a couple of ripping goals. Missed one he should have taken. Edwards now coming from 50. He's got a fair purchase on the ball. It's going to land right at the top of the goal square. It's gone over the pack. I don't know why he was looking for the lead there, Jesse Edwards, from outside 50. He gets the responding goal for Tigers.
Very
terrific
impressive
kick.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just you're right, Luke, it's a unique town, Manjimup, for lots of reasons, but the footy atmosphere is unique with the 3 clubs and the 3 teams, and we just keep churning them out, and we just do whatever we can to make sure that 3 teams go out week in, week out. It should be appreciated more. It's appreciated by people within the league, but far and wide, we do it tough, but we make it work, don't we?
Yep, absolutely. You know, sometimes it gets a bit dire, but you press on. You know, like I said, you keep everybody around you, keep the boys engaged, and
Tomasi has a shot on goal.
Lovely.
Tito Tomasi, the ball out of the middle of the ground. Brandy Armstrong, who's been terrific in this first half of footy, gets it over to Jordan Johnson, who's had the best half of his life up there. Ibsen used his body. Young Tomasi, who played Colts this morning and was pretty good, kicked a goal the game I did a couple of weeks ago against Cogent. That was a terrific kick. Used the banana 20 metres out, and it's goal for goal early in this third quarter. I think when you see a kid like that's the future, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
You've got to hang on to these kids, and they all get around him when they kick a goal. So even when you're going to league and you're not going as well, you do something good and the senior players get around him. That's what keeps kids in your club, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
As Myers wins the ball out, looking there for Connor Ipson, comes over the back to Reece Edwards. He's going to look for Femia, and Femia takes the mark in front of Corey Johnson. Isaac Femia, he played Rezzies today. It's a floater. Angus Brisbane in best position, tries to keep the ball in, and now Barnsby rushes it over the boundary line right in front of the Tigers faithful. So Matt Seymour, it's obviously been tough for him this year, Luke, as his first year of senior coaching. Like, terrific young kid, premiership player in that 2018, and sort of set one out, one back to Clint Sebastian, who was that premiership coach. So we just hope that he hangs around. That's the plan, I presume, and, you know, has another crack at it. I know it's been tough, and some of the losses have been quite hard to digest, but
definitely
just get around him, and, you know, hopefully the good times come sooner than you like, and, you know, he can be a part of that as a senior coach. He's got a lot of potential, Matt Seymour, I think, as a coach.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, I don't know his actual age, but he's quite young, so, you know, he's had a lot of pressure on him, and you know, we've done the best we can, and like you said, next year's a whole new ball game. Yeah.
The ball on the far side of the ground, free kick given away there by Beebe, and Tyler Barnsby will take the free kick as Edwards running for him. Has to go back and reset. So Matt Seymour was a terrific player, just suffered a lot of concussions over the later part of his year, which, you know, if they weren't there, he'd probably still be playing at his age. But
yeah, for sure.
Those young kids, they're the ones you've got to keep as well. You know, they want to be a part of the footy club and get it back, and it has been tough, but you just got to see some light somewhere. Ball goes forward, Connor Ipson takes a strong contested mark, and he'll have a shot on goal from just inside 50. He's going to pass. It's unusual. It goes to his brother Tyler. Normally Connor Ipson would have a shot from there. He's got the distance, but he's gone to Tyler Ipson. No one on him. Made the lead. Everyone pushed back to the goal square. And Ipson will go back from 30 metres out, directly in front, looking to close this gap once more. Comes in now. Umpire doesn't move an inch. Back-to-back goals to Imperials in this third quarter. Ipson gets his third. The margin now 2 points. 8 goals, 6, 54. Imperials, 8 goals, 8, 56. But on a brighter note, Luke, your Rezzies, your reserves are into the finals. First semi next week. I think their last 3 or 4 games they've been playing some pretty good footy.
Yep.
Looking from an umpire's point of view, I've done a couple of games, what we're doing here today. Unlucky not to win that game against Steve Mill probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they played some pretty solid footy.
Yep.
So they would be giving themselves every chance to go through in the first week.
I think so. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, with the players that you, as every team does around here, they fly in, fly out, or, you know, have other commitments. So yeah, we're hoping obviously next week we'll have our full side back in, and we'll be hard to beat, I think.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic, isn't it, now? Like when I played footy here, it was we didn't have that trouble. The numbers were good. I mean, it's a long time ago now, but that fly-in, fly-out roster has put another dynamic into our league as well, even with Taliesin, which is only like 30, 40 Ks away.
Yeah.
But week on, week off, and 1 week you can have a team that's out of this world, and the next week,
right.
you know, you're making phone calls at 10 past 12 to get a game, and probably people don't realise that, but it is tough, isn't it? But I was talking to Coach James Gillies, who's not a real confident bloke, is he, Luke?
No.
Doesn't mind a little bit of a word, James, but he's pretty confident. Ball down forward now, snap kick there from Logan for Tigers. Wademan in front position. Namnick trying to catch him, has a couple of bounces, does Wademan. He's a terrific player, gets it onto his boot. It goes high, close to the boundary line, and it's pushed over the boundary line. A free kick given here, and it'll go the way of Connor Edwards for Tigers. Not sure what that was for. Could have been a push. Goes down the boundary line, looking there for Barnsby. Goes over his head, and the ball will go out of over the boundary line and be thrown in right in front of the commentary box. No, he's not short of a word, James, and I had a chat to him this morning, and yeah, he's very quiet. But no, it's terrific for him because he's a new fella to the club, and you know, he bleeds black and white, doesn't he, after a few years, and he's here playing another game today. Just put a tackle on there on Johnson inside 50, so he's been a good pickup, long-termer in the Mansham Up area and Imperials, so he's a good pickup. So he's looking forward to next week. Was quite happy that Bridgetown knocked off Kojonup. He sort of was hoping that Kojonup would be his opponent, but let's see what the result is next week. But at least one team for the Imperials Footy Club is in the finals, and you just never know.
No.
Ball inside 50, comes over to Johnson. The ball's knocked out of his hands. Could have been a free kick. Over to Zach Johnson. Or Blake Johnson for Tigers. Back out to Raymond Myers. Handballs to that man, Gillies. He's got some company there, but he's awarded the free kick. And it'll go the way of Gillies. Comes in board looking for Myers. A little bit of pressure, but he takes the mark in front of Barnsby. He goes wide to Beebe. Ball bounces up nicely for him. Got a player short. And that player is Brajovic. And he's going to go into the middle of the ground and find Connor Ipson. Starting to get himself into the game now. As another player short, and that's Gizzarelli. Sean Gizzarelli. Handballs onto Ipson now. Now he goes long. Gillies has run up. Should take the chest mark and does. Sells a bit of candy on the mark. He's going to have a shot on goal. Is Gillies? Surely not. The ball's marked in the goal square. He would have been talking then, Luke, I reckon, if he kicked that one. Terrific bloke. Ball goes out of bounds. Myers wins the kick. Comes over the top. Had a really good game. Myers misses his target in Gizzarelli. In comes a big fella, Edwards. Tries to bust through the pack. He's tackled there by Myers. And the ball will be thrown up about 60 metres out from goal. So everyone will get behind the reserves team this week, Luke. And Imperials, yeah, well, they're doing it tough, but they've got some good people at the foundation, and every club has them to make them work.
Yeah.
So, you know, the AGM and all that sort of stuff, obviously that comes after the season, but it's a very proud club with some really good people in it, and you're part of that, mate. So how do you see the way out? Do you see a way out, or it's just a matter of hanging in there and just, you know, riding out these tough times to appreciate the good ones when they come, which hopefully is not that long away?
Yeah, I think so. It's just, a rough patch that we're going through, and every club does, you know, has the same problem at some point. And like I said, we'll just band together and focus on next year, and you know, try and bolster our player numbers is probably the best way to go forward. And as far as coaching goes, can't say at the moment. There's nobody been locked in yet, but you know, every year is completely different to the last. So you never know. We could turn around and have a good crack at it.
100%. I mean, you look at someone like Boyett Brook who won the flag last year and missed the 4, so things can turn around very, very quickly. Ball goes forward, finds Johnson, wheels around onto his left. He's going to have a shot on goal. It's all about the accuracy, but it's gone through for a minor score. And for Matt Seymour, a terrific bloke. I know him reasonably well. You just don't want those sort of guys to be put off by a pretty tough year. And I know it's too early to talk about coaches and that, but you just hope he hangs in there somewhere. And, you know, the footy club gets around him. I mean, we talk about the best things in the footy club, and I reckon if Stubble was here, he'd say it was him. Anthony, that is. But, you know, it's guys like that keep in touch with the footy club.
He's pretty modest, is Anthony.
Oh, he's as modest as James Gillies, I reckon. As the ball's on the far side of the ground, Myers tries to do a bit too much. Lucky to get away with that one. Now Tigers have the numbers through Soroka, but he handballs it straight back to Myers. Umpire's seen a free kick, and it'll go the way of Soroka. 21-minute mark of the third quarter, 3 points the margin. But no, you've got some good people there. You're a very proud club, one of the longest I always talk to Stubber that he was 1 year older than the rest, and I'm not sure who they played back in those days. But, yeah, all the Manji clubs have got a long history, and they're there for a reason, and it's not just the footy, it's about community and team and welcoming new people into the area, which you are one of, you know, in James Gillies. And there's a lot more, and to be involved in any footy club is great. We always wish someone was at your footy club or whatever your allegiances are too, but you do a great job, mate, and yeah, all the best for next year. It can turn around quickly, and yeah, hang in there, because the footy outlook needs Imperials as much as I was a D-mill person, but you know, we don't want clubs to go through too much heartache, because every club's important to the South West Footy League.
Yes. Yeah, we need us all to make it all go around, otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, and as we spoke to Ben, it's all about joining the dots from the ground level, or a player or a committee person, or wherever you sit in the footy vernacular or org structure. Everyone plays an important part, and we all do that. So Imperials are going forward here. Shot on goal be taken by Brajovic. He's going to kick from 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. This to put Imperials back in front. In he comes now, Brajovic. Hasn't got much of that. It's going to land in a real tricky spot. Oh, it's a pass by the youngster. And Ibsen, is it, has taken the mark? Or is it East? It might be East. Max East. Come in from 10 metres out. He makes no mistake. And Max East gets himself on the scoreboard. And he puts Imperials back in front. So 4-1 in this third quarter as we move into time on. They rest back the lead by 3 points. Thanks once again, Luke. All the best for the rest of the year. All the best for the reserves next week. And, yeah, you do a terrific job, mate. You're a big part of the community, big part of Imperials. Yeah, and thanks for coming up and being part of today's fixture.
All right. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks, Nigel.
Thanks, mate.
Been good.
Duck your head as you go out. The big fella. Ball back in the middle of the ground. Over the top comes Edwards, is pushed into the ruck this time. Over Ibsen, gets the handball back out to Ibsen. Connor Ibsen, he goes short and finds East once again. This time it's Sam. He'll handball off to Ibsen. Decides to pass, looking for his brother. And Tyler Ibsen takes a terrific mark under pressure from Ryan Edwards from Tigers. And he'll have a shot on goal from 40 metres out. Tight angle. And he'll go back looking at his fourth and Imperials' fifth of this third quarter. But Connor Ibsen, since he's moved into the ruck, is really getting his hands on the footy. Thanks, Luke. In he comes now, Ibsen looking for his fourth. Umpire does a move, straight over his hat. And Ibsen gets his fourth and increases this margin once again. Now they go to 9 points up, deep in this third quarter. 5-1 in this third quarter, the way of Imperials. Ibsen's got 2 of those, one to Myers, Tim Myers, to Massey and Max East, where Jesse Edwards kicked the long-range bomb from outside 50 for Tigers' only major of this third quarter. 10 goals, 6, 66. Imperials, 8 goals, 9, 57, the home side. Ball back in the middle once again. Jed Edwards this time has been put into the ruck. The ball's tied up in the middle of the ground. As Corey Johnson picks himself off the ground with Jesse Edwards. No ruckman wins it down. It comes to Armstrong. Could have been tackled without it. And Brandy Armstrong leading from the front. Wins a relieving free kick in the middle of the ground. Runs around the man on the mark. He's got a player wide in East. And East takes the mark. And that's East Max. Puts the ball to the top of the goal square. Looking there for Ibsen. It's gone over. It's gone over. Bounces through. Great kick there from East. Putting it to the top of the square. Got over the 2 players in the goal square. And bounced through for a major. So Max East kicks his second of the third quarter and extends this margin now to 15 points. 11 goals, 6, 72. 8 goals, 9, 57 the home side. And 6 goals to 1 in this third quarter. 10 goals in the second and third quarter have been kicked down the Manjimup end for people with the local knowledge, or the southern end. Ball back in the middle straight away. Comes out the youngster, James Johnson, gets onto his left boot. Looking there for another Johnson in Blake. He gets around his play with ease in Gizzarelli. Jesse Edwards, the only goal kicker, runs around. He looks for Johnson, gets a handball to Namnick, puts him under pressure. In comes Wademan for Imperials and pushes the ball out of bounds. And it'll be thrown in about 25 metres out from Tigers' goal. They need a goal before three-quarter time. Ball's thrown in. Ipsa gets it down to Gizzarelli. Just chucks it onto his boot. Johnson in best position. And James Johnson for Tigers takes the mark. Still too far out to score. Terrific youngster, young James Johnson. He's going to look for Namnick on a lead. Namnick's got front position, but a great spoil comes in from Wademan. Over to Armstrong, back to Ipsen, back to Wademan. Now they're out here, Ips, as he goes long, right in front of the commentary box. East in best position. Could have been pushed out of the way, but the mark is taken by Jed Edwards. He goes inboard and finds Reese Edwards, who's been terrific. That's a good-looking kick, looking for Brown. And he finds Brown 45 metres out from goal. And Connor Brown will go back, going for his second. He kicked from 45 metres out. The youngster kicks 50 or 60 goals in the Colts in the last couple of years. And he comes down, Brown, gets a fair purchase on it. And it's just gone through for a minor score. So 8 goals, 10, 58. 14 points down, Imperials, 11 goals, 6, 72. Terrific quarter from Imperials as Connor Ipsum rings the ball in and finds Armstrong. He cuts inboard, has one bounce. Now he switches play. He's looking there for East. East nearly takes a terrific mark. Tries to get the handball over to Myers. In they come now. Browns were there. Edwards is one of them. Gets the ball over the top. And Ipson, Connor takes a mark over the top of Blake Johnson. Got Armstrong short if he wants him and finds him centre wing. Gizzarelli's wide. He goes that way. And Scott Gizzarelli takes a mark right in front of the interchange box. Nearly three-quarter time. Big call to play on now. Drives the ball long. The East boys are going to come over the top. I don't think they got a hand on it. The handball comes out to Myers. Now Reese Edwards gets the handball out to brother Liam. He's going to wield onto his left boot. Umpire's seen a free kick. And Reese Edwards, it'll come back to him as he was dealt with after he got rid of the ball. Gets a kick short and finds brother Liam right in front of the Tigers faithful. Liam Edwards kicked a terrific goal in that second quarter. Goes short and finds Johnson Blake for Tigers. He'll wield around onto his left boot. He's going to look for the big man in Dawson. But the mark is taken there by Wademan, who's been terrific. Has Smith short and finds him. Lachlan Smith. Terrific duel with Namnick today. Got Gilly short. Now he's got to go long. And that's three-quarter time. Not wasting any power here today at Tigers. 8 goals, 10, 58. 11 goals, 6, 72. So 14 points to lead the way of Imperials. 6 goals to 1 in that third quarter. 2 to Tyler Ipson, 2 to Max East, 1 to Tim Myers and 1 to the youngster Tito Tomasi. And Jesse Edwards, the only goal scorer for Tigers in that third quarter, kicked a terrific goal from outside 50. We'll come back after three-quarter time with Imperials now in front by 14 points. 11 goals, 6, 72 to the Manjimup Tigers. 8 goals, 10, 58. So welcome back to Ray Park. A 6-goal term to Imperials has seen them take a 14-point lead into the last quarter. Before we start, let's mention our sponsors, the broadcast partners, Triple M, Rocks Footy and Taliesin Lithium. Mark of the Year sponsors, AFCRI, $3,500 prize, terrific. Goal of the Year sponsor, Kimberley Accommodation Group, 3 nights accommodation, Kimberley Accommodation Broome. Great Southern Fuel and Delta Ag Truck. Couple of special mentions before we start this quarter. I've got to say hello to James Gilly's dad, Neil, who's watching over east, and my great niece, Polly Serenas, turns 2 tomorrow. All right, underway here in the last quarter. It's 1 forward by Tigers. In they come now. Beebe just chucks it onto his boot. Tim Myers has been terrific. Big Thomas Quake comes over the top. It's 1 down by Liam Edwards. Drives the ball long. Being dealt with after he got rid of it there by Armstrong. And young Connor Brown will go back from 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He's looking for his second of the game to reduce this margin to 8 points. Been a live wire up forward, young Brown. In he comes now, Connor Brown. It's a great looking kick on goal from Connor Brown. And in the opening minute, the home side get the first goal of the last quarter. 9 goals, 10, 64. Margin now 8 points. 11 goals, 6, 72 Imperials. As Connor Brown made no mistake from 25 metres out. Undisciplined play there from Armstrong, who's been terrific. Him and Edwards have been at it all day. 2 terrific players. And Tigers needed that one. It seems to be the scoring end today. Ball back in the middle of the ground. This time Quaife wins it down towards Wilson. Free kick's been paid in the middle of the ground, and it'll go the way of Armstrong. Probably his team's best player today, Brandy Armstrong. He goes wide, looking there for Connor Ibsen, and he takes a terrific mark over the top of Jed Edwards. And he'll go back from 45 metres out on a slight angle to get the instant response for Imperials. And Connor Ibsen, without a goal today, set up quite a few. Has a lead from his brother, not this time. He's got the distance, in he comes now. He's got plenty of that one, Connor Ibsen. And the centre clearance straight away through Brandy Armstrong finds Connor Ibsen. And he gets the instant response for Imperials. And that margin once again is out to 14 points. Courtesy of a long-range goal from Ibsen. Between the Ibsen boys, they've got 5 between them. It's been good in this second half, has Connor Ibsen. 45 metres, no problem for him. Free kick given in the middle of the ground to Armstrong. Plays on straight away, and Ibsen used his height advantage to take the mark. Thomas Quaife this time wins it down towards Wilson again. In they come. Armstrong's one of them. James Johnson's the other. They pick themselves off, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Brisbane gets front position, wins it towards Myers, who's had a terrific game. Just chucks it onto his boot. There's that man, Ibsen. Doesn't come his way. It bounces in front of Reece Edwards. Looks for Josh Shiroka. He has some company in Collins. Now he has some help in Myers. Myers tries to wheel around. Just chucks it onto his boot. Edwards in best position. Goes over the top of him. Goes past East. Lands in the hands of Dylan Edwards. Now he's under pressure. Can't pick the ball up. In comes East and wraps him up. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up about 30 metres out from Imperial's goal. Goal apiece in this last quarter. Margin the same. 12 goals, 6-78. Tigers 9 goals, 10-64. The ball is thrown up and rushed over the boundary line, courtesy of Jordan Johnson, who's had a terrific game of footy today for Imperials. Will be thrown in this time about 35 metres out from their goal. East gets front position, wins it down to Johnson. He's set upon by James Johnson and Tyler Barnsby. No prior there. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. This time Tyler Ibsen does the ruck work. It's tough in there. Umpire earning his keep, and he'll come in and throw the ball up about 30 metres out from goal. One down in the direction of James Johnson. Now they have the numbers. One of them is Brandy Armstrong. He gets it over to Denzel Collins, puts it to the front of the square. That's a terrific mark by the skipper, Reece Edwards, deep in defence. Been terrific all day. Plays on straight away. Looks for brother Liam. I think the ball's gone out of the boundary line. And the ball's been given away. A little bit of advice from the Imperials bench. And Corey Johnson wins the free kick, goes in short and finds Connor Ibsen. Too far out to score Ibsen, 60 metres out from goal. He'll put this right to the top of the square. Now he's been called to play on, gets around the player with ease. Now he's in range, has a shot on goal. Probably got around the player too easy, had a little bit more time, and it goes out of bounds on the full. Much to the delight of the Tigers faithful. Reece Edwards wins the free kick, goes wide, but over the top comes Sam East. Over the top of Jed Edwards and takes the mark. 50 metres out from goal, far side of the ground. East has got Ibsen in the goal square. Sam East, in he comes. Decides to put it to the top of the goal square. Ball smothered through, comes over to Liam Edwards. Now he's got Jordan Johnson, tries to get around him, he's in trouble. Lucky let off there for Liam Edwards and the Tigers Footy Club. As the umpire will come in and throw the ball up about 20 metres out from Imperials goal. As they look to press and increase this margin, comes over to Ibsen, he wins it straight to Liam Edwards, handballs to his brother Reece, who just puts it onto his boot. But all he's done is find Raymond Myers right on 50. Got to play short and wide if he wants him. Got some tall timber down there, decides to go long. It's a good looking kick right at the top of the square, asking a fair bit of Gizzarelli, snaps! Hits the post on his non-preferred side. Scott Gizzarelli kicked a lot of points today. That was probably his toughest one. Great effort from the pocket. And once again, Tigers will reload. Reece Edwards bring the ball in. Got a player short. And that's Connor Edwards. Still inside defensive 50. He's got a player short. Asking a fair bit of Soroka. It carries over his head. And Denzel Collins takes the mark for Imperials. And will put it inside 50 once again. Couple of players wide if he wants them. He decides to carry the boundary. Asking a fair bit of Tyler Ibsen. Gets his player out of the way with ease. That was Liam Edwards. And Tyler Ibsen will go back from 40 metres out. 45-degree angle. He's going for his fifth to extend this margin. The biggest margin all day. Doesn't waste any time. Tyler Ibsen. Deliberate shot on goal. It's coming back. It's coming back for Ibsen. And he kicks his fifth. Terrific contested mark from Tyler Ibsen. And made no mistake from 40 metres out. A real thought in Tigers' defence down there. Outnumbered 2-1. Terrific overhead mark. And that margin now is out to 21 points. 13 goals, 785. 9 goals, 1065. And 2 goals to 1 in this early stages of the last quarter. 1 to Ibsen, Tyler, and 1 to Connor Ibsen. And Connor Brown kicked the opening goal of this last quarter for Tigers. The ball's back in the middle once again. This time Quaife wins the ball out. It goes to Jordan Johnson. He had a terrific game. Goes wide. Barnsby's there with Myers. Myers wins the ball down. Gets a handball over to Brandy Armstrong. Comes back in the middle of the ground. Oh, it's cut off there by Adam Edwards. Could have a bounce. He decides to go short, looking for Namnick. And Namnick takes a terrific contested mark in front of Waderman. What a duel that's been today. Namnick with 2 to his name. 50 metres out. Decides to go wide. Finds Edwards. He's going to run into an open goal. And he makes no mistake. Easy as you like. As Liam Edwards runs from the middle. Namnick didn't know, couldn't make the distance. Edwards knew that, run into open space. From 20 metres out, run into an open goal and gets one back for Tigers. So goal to goal here in the last quarter. 2 goals each. Brown and Liam Edwards and the Ipsum boys for Imperials. And that margin now is back to 15 points. And Tyler Ipsum with 5. Sloppy defence there from the Imperials side as Liam Edwards ran all the way from the middle. This time Brisbane wins the ball down in the direction of Brandy Armstrong, who's been terrific today. Gets a handball over in front of Jordan Johnson. It won't sit for him. In they come now. Handball back out to Reece Edwards. Short kick looking for Jesse Edwards. Here's that man Armstrong. He's been terrific. Set of thongs coming for him today if he keeps this up. A handball to Denzel Collins. Looking there for Lachlan Smith. No, it's Gizzarelli. Gizzarelli brings the ball back into him. This time the umpire said you got Pryor. And Connor Edwards for Tigers wins the free kick deep in defence. Has a player wide. Switches play and finds Jed Edwards still inside defensive 50. Logan running through the middle of the ground. James Johnson short if he wants him. Decides to go even shorter and finds Dylan Edwards. He goes wide. Logan's kept on running. Will it sit for him? It does. He's away now. Could have a bounce. Plenty of space in front of him. The kick doesn't hit its target. Looking there for Namnick. Comes out to Dawson. And he's wrapped up. And the ball will be thrown up 60 metres out from Tigers' goal. 10 goals, 10-70 the home side. 13 goals, 7-85 Imperials. 5 goal third quarter gave them a 14-point lead going into this last. As once again the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. This time about 55 metres out from goal. Quaife wins the ball down. It goes to Jordan Johnson. Umpire said he had Pryor, a bit stiff there. Johnson and Jesse Edwards wins the relieving free kick. Well, is he too far out to score? Kick one from that range before. Puts the ball in a tricky position. In front is Waderman. 2-1 on Namnick. Oh, there's a free kick paid here, and it's going to go the way of Namnick. Gizzarelli must have shepherded him out as Waderman come across in front. And Namnick will go back for his third. Top of the goal square, 15 metres out, directly in front. He makes no mistake. And back-to-back goals for the home side. Namnick gets his third. And that margin's back to 9 points. 11 goals, 10, 76. Tigers, 13 goals, 7-85. Waderman had best position. Free kick given to Namnick, top of the goal square. And he made no mistake. So Edwards ran into an open goal courtesy of a short pass from Namnick. And now Namnick's taken a mark on his own. And 3 goals to 2 in this last quarter, the way of the home side. Ball back in the middle once again. It's one down by Quaife. Starting to assert his dominance. It comes to Johnson. And he's wrapped up by Jesse Edwards. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. Quaife gets his big frame in the front. Comes over to Johnson. Could have been tackled without it. In comes Braden Wilson. Been a little bit quiet in this second half. Umpire's seen a free kick. And it'll go the way of Wilson. Plays on straight away and finds Edwards. Edwards has Soroka running for him. Decides to go longer. Looking for Namnick. Namnick goes over the top of him. Waderman dropped what he should have taken. Brown's there. In comes Waderman. He's got 4-1. Handballs into no one in particular. Back to Soroka. And he takes the ball over the boundary line right on 50. The Tigers have momentum now. The back-to-back goals. Edwards and Namnick. 9 goals the margin. Terrific game of footy. Dawson takes clean possession. Snap on goal. It's right at the top of the goal square. Players get back, but it's rushed through for a minor score. 11 goals 11 now, Tigers, 77. 8 points the margin. 13 goals 7, 85 Imperials. 13 minutes into this last quarter. The ball's brought back into play. Finds Gizzarelli. He goes short and finds Raymond Myers still inside defensive 50. He's going to have to go long now, looking for Sam East. It falls short, and the chest mark is taken by Dylan Edwards. Has a play short, and that's his brother Reece. Still too far out to score. Skipper's led from the front today. Has Dawson short if he wants him. Decides to go longer, looking for Namnick. Uses his long levers. The kick comes out, still favours Soroka. He'll run into an open goal. Under pressure, the ball goes out of bounds. And it'll be thrown in right on the point post. 15 metres out from Tigers' goal as they look to reduce this margin to less than a goal. Great game of footy here. You wouldn't know that these two teams sit where they are on the ladder. It's been a terrific game of footy. Ibsen gets front position, wins the ball down, it comes over to Blake Johnson, has a snap on goal! And they all watched it, and Blake Johnson on his left gets another one for Tigers as it floated through for a goal. And that margin now is 2 points. 12 goals, 11, 83 Tigers. 3 goals in a row to them. 13 goals, 7, 85 Imperials. It's game on. 15 and a half minutes gone in this last quarter, so still plenty of time. 4 goals to 2 in the last quarter here to the home side. He's got this margin back to 2 points. Quaife once again wins the ball down. Comes over towards the youngster in James Johnson. Ball's won out by Corey Johnson. He just chucks it onto his boot. Over the top of Armstrong comes Reece Edwards. Sockers it off the ground. It goes back in the direction of Corey Johnson. Now he's got company in Barnsby. Braden Wilson's there. He does well. Gets it over to his brother in Jordan Johnson. The ball goes out of bounds. Just left the centre, Imperials' way. And this margin is only 2 points. This time Brisbane just wins the ball down. Gizzarelli's first there. He's got outnumbered 3-1. One of them's Edwards. Socket off the ground towards Brandy Armstrong. Handball out to Jordan Johnson. Took too much time. Terrific tackle there by Barnsby. Lucky let off there for Imperials. Ball's thrown up 60 metres out from goal. One over there to Myers. Just chucks it onto his boot. That looked like it was more than 15. So mark was taken by Armstrong. Umpire doesn't see it that way and he'll throw the ball up. Quaife wins the ball over. Myers is first there. In comes Barnsby. In comes the umpire. And the ball will be thrown up once again. This time about 60 metres out from Imperials' goal. This time the youngster Brisbane uses his big frame. Knocks the ball down towards Zach Johnson. He just sockers it off the ground. Over to Barnsby. Chucks it onto his boot. Dawson in front position. Gets a terrific bounce. Just chucks it onto his boot. Now it's Namnick and Waderman. Terrific duel they've had today. It's tapped out to Edwards. Shot on goal. It's all about the bounce here. It's just him. The goal. Bounce. Bounce. Go! Liam Edwards puts the home side back in front. Terrific snap on goal. He's second for the last quarter. Bounced from the top of the goal square and went through for a major. And now they find themselves 4 points in front. 18 minutes gone in this last quarter. 13 goals 11 to 13 goals 7. 4 points the difference. 89-85. Ball back in the middle once again. It's one down by Quaife, but Tim Myers for Imperials wins it out of the centre in the direction of Gizzarelli. He's well spoilt. In comes East. He's got Myers there for help. Myers spent it before he had it. East comes back in and lays the tackle, and the ball will be thrown up about 70 metres out from Imperials' goal. Terrific snap on goal from Liam Edwards. Second of the last quarter, he's third for the game. Ball now comes towards East once again. Sam. In comes Johnson and ties the ball up. Will be thrown up about 50 metres out from Imperials' goal. Quaife's made a difference in the ruck. Knocks it down to Myers. Quaife puts the big tackle on. And once again, the umpire will come in and throw the ball up about 52 metres out from Imp's goal. Quaife uses his frame, gets it over to Gizzarelli. He's well tackled once again by Quaife, who's late. That's Adam Edwards. lays some terrific tackles in there. And they go once again. Brisbane wins it down. Armstrong's there. It knocks out straight to Brisbane. Just chucks it onto his boot. Umpire's seen a free kick. No advantage as Ipsen takes an uncontested mark about 20 metres out from goal. And Sean Gizzarelli from Imperials wins the free kick. Too far out to score, Gizzarelli. Should put this to the top of the square. We move close to the 20-minute mark of this last quarter. Oh, he decides to go short. It's a terrible kick. Looking there for Ipsen. The ball's turned over. Out it comes towards Dawson. And Dawson uses his experience and takes an uncontested chest mark. Just drives it onto his boot. Goes over the top of Namnick and Waderman. Waderman's got Barnsby now for company. Barnsby comes in. Tries to get the ball back out to Namnick. Waderman's in there. Ball still in dispute. The umpire's letting it go. Barnsby's still there. Comes out to Johnson. Quick handball to Namnick. He's well wrapped up by Beebe. And a quick transference of play. The umpire once again will come in and throw the ball up. This time about 40 metres out from Tigers' goal. 4 points the margin, the way of the home side. Dawson uncontested wins the ball down. Edwards is there. Now Armstrong, it's a foot race. Armstrong, has he got the wheels? He's got the space. It bounces kindly for him. He gets the handball back out to Smith. Far side of the ground, looking for Gizzarelli. Works his player under the ball. Gets a handball over to Connor Ipsen. He'll wheel back onto his left boot. Gets a handball just in time to Smith. Looking down there for Tyler Ipsen. The ball spoiled. That's ever reliable Reece Edwards. That hasn't gone 15. Tackles on. Comes back to Reece Edwards for Tigers. Gets a short kick away. And it's cut off by Armstrong. He goes in short looking for Myers. Could have been pushed in the back. Comes over to Tomasi. It's all about the bounce here. It bounces through. Tito Tomasi. The youngster from 20. Puts through his second. And puts Imperials back in front. Brandy Armstrong cut that ball off. And Tomasi run under it, cut through a couple of Tigers defenders, snapped on goal. And it bounced through. 22 minutes gone in this last quarter. What a terrific game of footy. Imperials hit the front. 14 goals, 791. 13 goals, 1189. Ball back in the middle once again. It's one down by Quaife. Edwards Adam in the middle now. Just chucks it onto his boot. Gets a fair purchase. Beebe's under pressure here from Liam Edwards. And he gets it out of bounds. And the ball will be thrown in just outside 50. Tigers' way. Tito Tomasi. 3 goals to 5 in this last quarter, the way of the home side. As Quaife gets front position over to Braden Wilson in the direction of Jethro Namnick. Snaps on his left. What's this going to do from Namnick? Goal! Jethro Namnick. What you can do down one end, Tito, I can do it the other. And Jethro Namnick, like in slow motion, got under his left boot. And he kicks his second of the last quarter. And he's fourth for the match. And Tigers hit the front. 23 minutes gone in this last quarter. What a game of footy. 5 goals to 3, the way of the home side. Ball back in the middle of the ground. Big Thomas Quaife gets it over to Adam Edwards once again. Just chucks it onto his boot as he did prior. Ball comes out towards Blake Johnson on his natural side. Has a snap on goal. And he has put it through. Two goals inside a minute, the way of the home side. And this margin's out to 10 points. Blake Johnson. He knew what he was doing on his natural side, 45 metres out. Just him and the goals. He's put it through. Thomas Quaife has been huge in this last quarter. The move of Adam Edwards into the middle of the ground. Jeffro Namnick pushes now onto a wing just to give him some height moving forward. Ball back in the middle of the ground. This time Brisbane gets over the top of Quaife, but they have the numbers. In comes a big fella in Brisbane. There's only one way. Soccer it off the ground, young fella. Tries to tap it, but tap it's toward young Edwards. Gets it out to Reece Edwards. Chucked on the boot by Barnsby. And he finds Adam Edwards in the middle of the ground. He goes wide. Ryan Edwards, head travel at bounce. It bounces in favour of Wademan, Charlie Wademan. Now he comes down right in front of the commentary box. Good looking kick and finds Sam East. Still too far out to score. Handball over to Connor Ibsen. It goes in the direction. Nearly a mark taken by Gizzarelli. In they come now. How's the umpire going to see this one? The ball's going to be thrown up right on the point post. 5 metres out from Imperials goal. 15 goals 11, 101. 14 goals 7, 91. 10 points the margin. Goals are plenty in this last quarter. 7 goals to the home side. 3 to Imperials. They find themselves 10 points up. About 2 or 3 minutes to go in this last quarter. Ball's right at the top. It comes to Myers. In comes Soroka for Tigers and wraps him up along with Barnsby. And the ball will be thrown up once again. East this time does the ruck for Imperials. Comes over to Gillies. Gets a handball over to Johnson. He's under pressure. It comes straight to Thomas Quaife. Brandy Armstrong misses what he should have taken. Now puts Dawson into play. He's tackled as he kicks it. But Jesse Edwards has some time. Has a player wide. It's Johnson. Could have used him. Now he's under pressure. Gets a handball over to Jaya Logan. Just chucks it onto his left boot. It goes straight up and straight down. Nearly a mark in the middle of the ground to Gillies. Gets it over to Gizzarelli. He goes wide and finds Wademan inside the centre square. He's got to go long and direct. He does so, but it's going to be cut off by Johnson. That's Zach Johnson for Tigers. Inside 50, being called to play on. How's the umpire see this one? He sees it and he had no prior. Temper's getting a little bit flared. The late stages of this last quarter. Umpire doesn't muck around, throws it up. Quaife could have caught one, wins the ball back, gets a handball out. It finds Wilson. He just chucks it onto his boot. Edwards in best position, nearly takes the mark, spills out to Beebe. Gets a handball over to Johnson for Imperials. Now he's put Collins under pressure. Back to Johnson. Has Wademan wide if he wants him. Under pressure. All he's done is hit the big ample chest of Adam Edwards. He goes short and finds cousin Liam. Players in the middle of the ground. One of them is Dawson and he takes the mark centre wing. Man of the mark is Jordan Johnson. Just controlling it now, slowing it down. Robert Dawson just about tackled there by Ibsen. Puts him off his kick and the chest mark is taken by Wademan. Got a player wide there in Armstrong. Puts him under pressure. Does well in front of Reece Edwards. Now he's going wide. Now Tyler Ibsen has the leg speed. He's got Ibsen. Oh, he slipped over when he didn't have to. Gets around a couple. He'll have a shot on goal for number 6. Puts it towards Gizzarelli. But that man Namnick is pushed back from the forward line and takes a relieving mark right on the goal line for Tigers. Terrific mark there by Namnick. Decides to go long and wide. Imperials have the numbers. Could have marked the ball. It favours Braden Wilson for Tigers. Handball over to Liam Edwards. Players a little bit spent now. This has been a terrific game of footy. 15 goals, 11 Tigers. 14 goals, 7, 91. 10 points the margin. Just about full time here. Thomas Quaife now. He'll be opposed by Brandy Armstrong, who's been terrific. Now he's got to do the ruck. Quaife uses his frame, gets in front, comes over towards Wilson. Tries to run the ball out of bounds, but he's wrapped up there by Tim Myers for Imperials. And it'll be thrown up right in front of the commentary box. 7 goals to 3 in this last quarter. 10-point margin here. The Tigers, and there's the siren. Terrific last quarter of footy by the home side. They're up and about. Terrific game of footy overall. 15 goals 11, 101, 14 goals 7, 91. Namnick with 4, 2 in that last quarter. Liam Edwards with 3, 2 in that last quarter as well. Blake Johnson with 2 beautiful goals. 1 to Connor Brown. He got him started in that last quarter. 2 to Reese Edwards. They come in the first half, and 1 to Adam Edwards. And 1 to Jesse Edwards from range. Alex Hancock kicked 1 for Imperials. Tyler Ipson kicked 5 for Imperials. Sam East kicked 1. Gizzarelli 1. Tim Myers 1. Tomasi kicked 2. Terrific goal, which was matched down the other end straight away by Namnick. Max East kicked 2. And Connor Ipson kicked 1. Terrific game of footy. I'm going to hand it over to John here for best on ground. What do you reckon, mate? Give me something. For 2 teams that sit where they are on the ladder, from an umpire's point of view, which is how I like to think people think of me watching footy, that was an outstanding game of footy. Goal for goal. Lead changed 5 or 6 times throughout the course of the whole game. Imperials with an early start in that first quarter. Couple of goals. The difference at 3-quarter time the way of Imperials, but a 7-goal-3 last quarter by the home side got them home, and they did what they had to do. I think we can grab, well, we need to get a winning person, I would think, from the winning side. Ooh, give me a minute here. I thought Reese Edwards was probably outstanding. He's number 20. Outstanding game of footy. Kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. Really worked hard forward in the first part of the game, and they worked just as hard in the last part of the game. So Reese Edwards wins the Archie's Best on Ground award today. It's hard to go who was the best goal of the day. I thought Tomasi's goal in that last quarter was terrific for a youngster. Cut through a couple of defenders, put his team in front and won that game of footy. Well, didn't win the game of footy, but put Imperials back in front. And all of a sudden, Namnick at the other end made the most of it, going down with a terrific snap of his own. But young Tomasi wins goal of the day. Reese Edwards wins man of the match. Do I have to, do you want me to take this off?
No, leave it on. You do the final and then do a wrap.
Yeah. Hey Reese, spot on mate. So best on ground voted by today. So mate, we thought your game was outstanding. A couple of goals in that first half, worked forward, and then your work down back was outstanding, mate. So yeah, we see that young Dylan played his 50th game today, so he'll never forget this one. But for 2 teams that sit where they are on the ladder, how did you feel about that game of footy?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've obviously had an underdone year. I think we've underperformed by a long way. We can move the footy as good as anyone, I think, and it's just our polish that sort of let us down. Into a good side. We've had two good battles this year, 3 good battles. It's just good to get a win.
So how do you find, I mean, to call that game for me, if I call an Edwards, I cover most of the ground, but I mean, is it hard working with your cousins and brothers and all that, or is you just find it's a game of footy, they're there to fill up a position and to make everything work going up and down the ground?
Yeah, so it's obviously we kick the footy around a lot. We do butt heads a little bit, especially me and Liam. But yeah, no, it's good playing with them. We all know how each other play. Like most of us are in the back line today, so
yeah. I
Good.
thought the move in Namnick late to push down just to give you that tall sort of cutting off, because Connor Ipson was posing a problem, and Tyler Ipson as well was a master of it, and putting Adam in the middle, like just to get a couple of centre clearances. It really made a difference getting the ball forward, but when it came down, it gave you a taller option down back.
Yeah, Jeffrey was good up forward, and Adam was good up forward, but when he went in the midfield, he just gave us that firepower we needed. 2 big clearances that turned to goals, and
and it's good to see Jeffro back in. I mean, he's had a lot of trouble with his knee, a couple of recons, so it's going to kick forward today, so he was outstanding down there, and then took a really good mark late in the game.
Oh yeah, he's probably one of my best mates, and I love playing footy with him. It's good to have him back.
So just, I won't keep it too long, mate, but Robert Dawson, the chairing off, is there anything to read into that? Is that his last game for Tigers, or we can't say too much?
No, it'll be his last game today.
Yeah.
So over 100 games coming down from Perth for us. even the last 2 years when we haven't been much chop. So,
Yeah, he's been a terrific servant, hasn't he? Like, he's just an outstanding bloke as well. So, but well done to him, mate, and well done to you. You led from the front, back, and forward. So, enjoy your season off, I suppose. I'm sure you will, as I know you. But yeah, look forward to seeing what Tigers can do next year. I think there is a little bit of light there. Like, you've won 3 games, it's not a lot, but yeah, good on you, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
thank you.
All right, so as we leave Ray Park, great game of footy, 10 points in favour of the home side. A 7-3 last quarter, got them over the line. Imperials to get out to 8 points in that last quarter, but terrific game of footy for 2 teams that sit where they are on the ladder. From Ray Park, we look forward to finals now. We thank Filming Footy once again and our broadcast partners, Triple M Rocks Footy and Tallis and Lithium, and we'll sign off from Ray Park and finals action start next week.